Hello viewers, in the previous video we have discussed regarding theory part of hire purchase system and what are the terms which are related to hire purchase system and also difference between hire purchase system and installment purchase system. Let us move on to the accounting treatment which is specifically relating to hire purchase system which is there as according to Bangalore University syllabus. See, under this we have three methods. First one, asset accrual method. What exactly mean by this asset accrual method in the sense, you know, accrual concept. What do you mean by this in the sense? On mercantile basis, we will record the business transactions. In the context of that, how we will record in the sense, on due basis, we will record the asset. Okay. Next, outright property method. Here, we will consider, otherwise it is called as credit sale method. For the cash price, we will add up certain interest and that we will record based on the installment wise. Next one we have interest suspense method. This specifically we will use for installment purchase system where the ownership will be transferred to the purchaser on signing the agreement. This method we will use for installment purchase system. These two we will use for hire purchase system. Only asset accrual method you have for Bangalore University syllabus. Let us know how the accounting treatment will be there for hire purchase in the context of this asset accrual method. Here we have certain journal entries which we just need to pass in the books of hire purchaser. We are particularly concentrating on books of hire purchaser only. See here, when asset is purchased under hire purchase system, we should not supposed to write or enter any journal entry because ownership is not transferred to the hire purchaser. That is the only reason. So as the ownership of asset is not transferred, asset will not be the asset of our company or some other in the context of that. Next, when down payment is made, we have to pass one entry. At the beginning of purchasing of asset, we will pay down payment or initial deposit. That is down payment. If we are making the payment towards the down payment, we just need to pass one entry, that is asset account data to cash or bank account. Here asset is real nature, debit what comes in. That means asset is coming into the business, cash. Again, real nature of account, cash is going out of the business, bank. Or if we are making payment with the help of bank, bank is the giver. Okay. When the asset is purchased, no entry. When the down payment is made, we just need to pass one entry, that is asset account data to cash or bank account. Next, we have when after the ending of first year, when the installment becomes due, we just need to pass up this entry, that is asset account data to interest account data to hire vendor. Asset account. See, installment includes two major things. One is principal amount and interest amount. Principal amount here refers to what in the sense amount which we are paying towards the price of the asset. Interest amount, it is just like a higher charges which we are paying towards the interest. Okay. See, asset again, real nature of account, debit what comes in. Interest, nominal nature of account, debit all expenses and losses. It is an expense for the hire purchaser. Next, hire vendor is the giver. Okay. Likewise, we will pass this entry. Next, when installment is paid, hire purchaser will pay installment to hire vendor. When the hire purchaser is paying installment to hire vendor is the receiver. Personal nature of account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Bank is the giver. Okay. This entry is relating to when the installment is paid. Next one, when depreciation is charged. Every year. What do you mean by this depreciation in the sense? Depreciation means gradual decrease in the value of asset. What is the major objective of charging this depreciation in the sense? Replacement of asset. Okay, if we are charging the depreciation, we just need to pass one entry, that is depreciation account data to asset account. Okay, depreciation again, expense, nominal nature, asset is real nature of account, credit what goes. Okay, asset value is going out, so we have to get the asset here. Next, when interest and the depreciation, if we are transferring that to the general profit and loss account, we just need to pass this entry, that is profit and loss account data to interest account to depreciation account. Okay, these are the 6 major journal means, except the first one. Will not record any journal entry when the asset is purchased under hire purchase system. Second one, when the down payment is made. Okay, when pass of this entry, that is asset account data to cash or bank account. Next one, from third journal entry to the sixth one, every year it will gonna repeat. Okay, so that is when the installment becomes due, when installment is paid, when depreciation is charged, and when the interest and depreciation transferred to profit and loss account, will pass of these kind of entries. Okay, let us move on to the practical part. For solving the practical problems, what are all the information we just required? Okay, in that first one, date of purchasing. Date of purchasing of asset under hire purchase system and down payment. That is initial amount which we are paying towards the asset. Okay, next one, cash price. Already have discussed this regarding this in the first video. What do you mean by cash price? In the sense, the price of the asset, if you are paying as or if you are purchasing as of now in the market, how much we can pay? That is actual cash price. Okay. Next, amount of each installment. How much amount we just need to pay for every installment? That also we just need to know. Next, interest. How much interest has been included in the each installment? Next, rate of interest. How much is the rate of interest? It is required for calculation of interest again. Next, rate of depreciation. For charging the depreciation, rate of depreciation is also required. Next, method of depreciation. Here when it comes to context of this, we will follow two methods here. One is straight line method, another one is return to value method. What do you mean by straight line method? In the sense, we will consider original cash price of the asset. We will just deduct the scrap value and we will just divide it by estimated value. Okay. Then we will arrive at the depreciation value, that is straight line method of calculating depreciation. Next method, return down value method. That means first year if you are charging the depreciation on cash price, we will deduct the first year depreciation. Whatever the value will arrive based on that next year depreciation we will calculate. We will solve the practical problems relating to that. Next, cash price in each installment. That means installment includes two major things. One is principal and also interest. Cash price in each installment will refers to the principal amount which we are paying in the installment. Next, higher purchase price. It means that total amount paid by the higher purchaser to the higher vendor to purchase asset under hire purchase system. It includes down payment plus installment money. Okay. Let us solve certain practical problems relating to here. Three major things we just need to calculate in terms of solving practical problems. That first one, interest and also cash price. Next one is depreciation. Later on, we will pass up the journal entries and we will prepare certain ledger accounts also. We will concentrate on first thing, that is calculation of interest. Here you can see calculation of interest. In this, we have two major categories. When rate of interest is given and also cash price is also given and installments are given, and if the rate of interest is not given. You can see here in one particular case, rate of interest will be given, but in other cases, rate of interest will not be given. Okay, these two cases we just need to understand. If rate of interest is given, again we will come across two major situations: when installment includes interest, when installment excludes interest. For example, if A is purchasing certain asset from B under hire purchase system, A is paying 20,000 every month as installment to B. Okay. If when interest is included in that 20,000, how we will calculate the interest? If interest is not included in 20,000, how we will calculate the interest? That will come to know by solving the practical problems. Okay. Next, we will move on to the next part. So here you can see one question. We can see first one. See here, installment includes interest. Calculate interest included in each installment. Calculate interest included in each installment. Cash price is given 74,500. Down payment is given 20,000 rupees. Balance in 3 annual installments of rupees 20,000 each. And the rate of interest is 5%. Okay. Here installment includes the interest. That means, see here you can see this 20,000 includes the interest also. Very important thing in the problem, if you are not come across with the words like along with interest, plus interest, with interest, okay, together with interest. If you are not coming out like this, interest is included in the installment. If those words has been included in the problem in the sense, that means installment excludes the interest. Here, installment includes the interest. Okay, let us discuss the practical problems related to how we can solve this problem. So here, let us move on to the solution. Here we have considered, this is a format how we will calculate the interest when interest rate of interest is given, cash price is also given, down payment is given, and even along with that even they have specified whether interest is included or excluded. Here in the previous problem, here you can see interest is included in the installment. So what we have to do, we have to follow up like this. First, we just need to consider the cash price. In the cash price, we just need to deduct the down payment. 74,500 is the cash price. In the 20,000 is the down payment we have deducted. So next we will arrive at balance due for the first year. That means this amount they just need to pay to the higher vendor at the end of the first year. Okay. Based on this, what we just need to do, we just need to calculate the interest, and this interest we just need to add for this amount. Okay. So very important thing. On the balance due, what we just need to do in the sense, we just need to calculate the interest, rate of interest is also given, and we just need to add that to the balance due for the first year. Okay, we are at certain number. In that, we just need to deduct the installment money. Okay, here already have said installment includes the interest. There is no necessity to add up again the interest. Okay, so 20,000 we have deducted. We will arrive at balance due for the second year. Okay. Next, second, based on again whatever the practical problems we are just solving as of now, based on that only same procedure we just need to follow. See, the second year also, based on the balance due for the second year, we just need to add interest for the second year. That is 30,225 rupees. Okay, and then 5% will arrive at 1,861. So total will be 39,086. In that second installment, we just need to deduct, that is 20,000 rupees only. Already we have said interest, so installment includes the interest. Okay. Again, if you just deduct that, we will arrive at one value, that is balance due for the third year. Here, we just need to consider if rate of interest is given and installment includes interest, there is no necessity to calculate last year interest. We just need to consider it for balancing figure. How we can arrive at the balancing figure? See, here you can see balance due for the third year is 19,086. For the third year, how much installment money we just need to pay is 20,000. 20,000 minus of this value will get the interest, that will be the balancing figure. There is no necessity to calculate the interest for the last year. Okay. The next, if you just consider this total, we get 20,000. Last installment is 20,000 rupees. If you are paying in the sense, all the transactions we have performed, asset will come to the handover, or the purchaser will become the owner of the asset. This is how we will calculate interest if rate of interest is given and if installment includes the interest. Okay. So let us solve certain practical problems relating to if installment excludes interest. So here you can see, calculate interest included in each installment and value of the asset at the end of fourth year. Okay, if rate of depreciation is 15% under return down value method. Okay, see, this is the 2019 question paper problem which has been asked in the previous year. What they are asking this in the sense, we just need to calculate the interest. Along with that, we just need to calculate value of asset at the end of the fourth year. Okay. See, first they have given certain values. Cash price they have given, that is 50,000 rupees. Down payment is 10,000. Next, balance to be paid in 4 annual installments of rupees 20,000 each with interest. Here, the word with is very important. That means that with in the sense plus, together, or plus, or along with interest. Okay, that kind of meaning will give. So, interest excludes excludes the, sorry, that means installment excludes the interest. That's how you just need to remember what is the difference between when rate of interest is given, when rate of interest is not given, when rate installment includes interest, when installment excludes interest. Okay, and the rate of interest is also given, that is 5%. Let us solve this problem. So you can consider same format only. You can see here, first we have considered the cash price. We have deducted the down payment, that is 10,000 rupees. Balance due for the first year is 40,000 rupees. Okay, later on what we just need to do? We just need to add interest for the first year on the balance due. 40,000 into 5% we will get 2,000. See, total 42,000 we will get. In that first installment we just need to deduct. Remember, installment doesn't include interest here. So what we have to do, for this installment money, we just need to add up the interest. 10,000 plus 2,000. So total 20,000 we just need to deduct. That is the difference between when installment includes interest and installment excludes interest. And here we will not get the balance figure for the last year. Okay, that also you just need to remember. You can see for second year, again based on the balance due, we will calculate the interest on the balance due. 30,000 into 5%, 1,500. Okay, total we get 31,500. So second installment, along with the 10,000 rupees, we just need to add the interest for the second year. That is 1,500. 10,000 plus 1,500, 11,500 we will get. So total balance due for the third year will be 20,000. For the third year, 20,000 into 5%, because balance due for the third year is 20,000. 20,000 into 5%, 1,000 rupees. Okay, so total will be 21,000. Third installment amount, again 10,000 plus third year interest is 1,000 rupees. 21,000, that is 11,000. Just need to deduct. Okay, balance due will be 10,000. See, for the fourth year interest, 10,000 into 5, that is 500 rupees you will get. So total 10,500. Last year, fourth year installment, 10,000 plus 500, 10,500 rupees we are paying. So the balance due will be nil after paying the fourth year installments. Okay, this is how we can calculate the interest. Next part, just need to discuss regarding calculation of depreciation. Here we will come across two methods. Already have said, one is straight line method, another one is return down value method. Straight line method, see, cash price, based on the cash price only, every year we will deduct. For example, 1 lakh is the value of asset, 10% is the rate of depreciation. 1 lakh into 10% will get 10,000 rupees. Okay, 10,000 will be the depreciation for every year. But when it comes to the context of return down value method, we will follow this procedure. Here, cash price of the asset is 50,000. In that, we just need to deduct depreciation for the first year, that is 50,000. Observe the question, rate of depreciation is 15%. Okay, 50,000 into 15% will get 7,500. Deduct 7,500 from the cash price, that is 50,000, will get WDV, that is return down value, 42,500. While calculating depreciation for the next year, what we have to do in the sense, we just need to consider this value, that is 40,500 into 15%. Okay, likewise, we just need to calculate the depreciation. After the, in the question you can observe, see, you can see, in the question you can observe, they are asking a value of asset at the end of the fourth year. If rate of depreciation is 50% under return down value method, we have calculated the depreciation. Here you can see first year, second year, third year, fourth year depreciation. After calculating the depreciation for the fourth year, we have got value of asset as 26,100 rupees. So value of asset after ending of fourth year will be 26,100 rupees. In briefing out, what we can say in the sense, see, interest is calculated based on two major criteria or cases. One is when the rate of interest is given, another one is when rate of interest is not given. Again, if the rate of interest is given, we will come across two major situations. If installment includes the interest, if installment excludes the interest. Next you can see, when the rate of interest is not given, how we can calculate the interest. Okay, here we will solve one practical problem which is asked in the previous year question paper, that is 2018. Calculate interest included in each installment, where cash price is rupees 60,000, down payment is 18,000, 3 installments of rupees 24,000, 18,000 and 20,000 respectively payable at the end of each year. You can see, you can observe in the question, rate of interest is not given. So, if the rate of interest is not given, how we can calculate this interest? Okay. So, for this, we have 5 steps. In that first one, calculation of higher purchase price. What do you mean by this higher purchase price? In the sense, total amount paid by the higher purchaser to the higher vendor for getting possession of this asset. Okay. So, next, when it comes to the second step, calculation of interest. That means, interest means total amount, that means additional amount which is paid based on the cash price for purchasing the goods under hire purchase system. Otherwise, interest is called as higher charges. Next one, calculation of balance due at the end of every year. We just need to find out, that is third step. Fourth one, calculation of ratios. For the balance due, we just need to calculate the ratios. Next step, we have calculation of interest based on the ratios. Okay, let us solve this problem. Here you can see first step, calculation of higher purchase price. For calculating this higher purchase price, we have one formula, that is higher purchase price is equal to down payment plus installment money. You can see here, observe in the problem. See, they have given the down payment, that is 18,000. Okay. Next, plus all the installment money we just need to add. In the question only they have given first installment and second installment, third installment. They are paying certain money. We just need to add all these things. Then we will arrive at the higher purchase price. Okay. That means total amount which has been paid by the higher purchaser to the higher vendor for purchasing this asset under higher purchase system. That is higher purchase price. We just need to calculate this. In the second step, what we have to do in this is just need to calculate the interest. What is the formula to calculate interest is equal to? So interest is equal to higher purchase price, which we have computed in the first step, minus of cash price, which will be given in the problem. See, higher purchase price is 72,000. That is cash price is 60,000. We have got the interest value of rupees 20,000. Okay. First and the second step. In the first step, we will calculate the higher purchase price. In the second step, we will calculate the interest. Okay. See, next step, we just need to calculate balance due at the end of each year. While calculating the balance due at the end of each year, very important thing, we just need to take up certain care here. For the first year, we will deduct down payment from the higher purchase price. Okay. Higher purchase price means total amount which higher purchaser has to pay. In that, for calculating the amount due for the first year, what we will do in the sense, we will deduct down payment for the first year. Okay, from second year onwards, what we will do in the sense, we will deduct the installment money. Okay, very important thing, this thing we just need to remember. Here you can see, for the first year, higher purchase price is 72,000. We have deducted the down payment. We have arrived at 54,000. That is balance due for the first year. That means how much he has to pay at the end of the first year. Next, amount due for the second year. See, this amount we just need to consider. In that, we just need to deduct the installment money. First installment money is 24,000. If we just deduct 54,000 minus of 24,000, we get 30,000 rupees. Next, amount due for the third year, 30,000. Balance due for the second year, minus of second installment, we will get the 12,000 rupees. That is balance due for the third year. Okay, this is third step. Next one, step 4, calculation of ratios for amount used. See, we have find out amount used for each year. Based on that, just need to calculate the ratios. Here, 54,000 is to 30,000 is to 12,000. Okay, I just remove these 3 zeros. We have arrived at this. Okay, 54,000. So 54 is to 30 is to 12. Okay. In the fifth step, what we just need to do in the sense, just need to calculate the interest. Second step, amount you just need to remember calculation of interest. Here you can see calculation of interest. How much is the interest? 12,000. This 12,000 rupees, what we just need to do in the sense, we just need to share based on the ratios as according to the step 4. Okay, 12,000 into 54 divided by total of this 54 plus 30 plus 12 we will arrive at 96. 54 divided by 96 will get 6,750 rupees for the first year. Second year 12,000 into 30 by 96 3,750. Third year 12,000 into 12 divided by 96 will get 1,500 rupees as the interest amount. That's how we can compute interest when rate of interest is not given. Okay. In brief, what we can convey in the sense, see, calculation of interest can be made with the help of two major cases. One is when the rate of interest is given, another one is when rate of interest is not given. If the rate of interest is given, okay, what we can do in this is we just need to find out whether installment includes interest or excludes interest. Includes interest in the sense they will not mention any words like with interest, together with interest, plus interest, along with interest. Okay, if these words are not there in the problem, we can say that installment doesn't include, it includes interest. Okay, so if these words are present in the problem, we just need to make one conclusion that installment doesn't include the interest. So what we have to do for installment, just need to add up the interest. Okay, based on that, just need to find out the interest. And if installment includes the interest, last year interest will be as balancing figure. Okay, if installment excludes interest, will not be any balancing figure. Okay. Next, if rate of interest is not given, what we will do in the sense, we will follow this procedure, that is calculation of hire purchase price, calculation of interest, calculation of balance due at the end of each year. Next, we will calculate the ratios based on this balance due amount and calculation of interest based on the second step and also the fourth step. Okay. Thank you. Please do comment about this video.